We're all looking for reality, but we're looking for it in the world. And you're not going to find it there. You may find tools to help you find reality or to help you construct a life or a practice or a way of living that is, in a sense, a bridge, or it could be a raft. In Buddhism, the teaching is referred to as a raft that takes you across a river, or a boat. So you use what you have, but when you get to the other side, you leave the boat behind because you don't need it. It's a vessel, it's a vehicle. So the body, the mind, the emotions are something you use to wake up, but it's not who you are. So the reality that we want is really found by being who we are, because we are that. We are that truth, being, reality. It's one thing. Those are the synonyms I use for it: truth, being, reality. There are three questions that go with it. First, is it true? Like I'm having a thought, is it true? Being, who am I? To whom does this arise? To whom does this thought, feeling, sensation arise? And reality, what is it? What is this? I'm having an experience, thought, feeling, sensation. What is this? Because we're looking at it curiously. And the answer is not a thought. So we are that. Those are just three ways to do it. If you apply any of those consistently, if you feel a spark of recognition, like, yeah, I want to do self-inquiry. Who am I? I'm having a feeling. To whom does the feeling arise? I'll just take a piece of tissue. That's what thoughts are like, right? You don't need them. It's gone. Have another one. They keep coming, right? So I'm witnessing that. To whom does it arise? There's a thought. There's a feeling. There's a sensation, all happening. Who is it that's aware of the thought, the feeling, sensation? There's a subtle sense of someone who's looking. To whom does that arise? It dissolves. The mind dissolves. That's what it's meant to do. Clouds dissolve. Is that scary? No. That's what clouds do. They appear, they disappear. The sky of awareness is not harmed by that. We are that spacious awareness. The clouds come and go. So it's clinging to the ones we want, or repressing the ones we don't want. It creates this struggle that's a form of suffering. And it causes all forms of suffering. I realize that sometimes I talk about suffering and it seems kind of abstract. It can be extremely painful. It helps to remember that. The Buddha saw three sights that motivated his journey of awakening. They were sickness, aging, and death. SAD, sad. That's how I remember that. Sickness, aging, death. Yeah, sickness, aging, death. If you visit a nursing home, you see where it goes. Visit a funeral home. Visit a morgue. I don't think they let visitors just come into the morgue. I'm just saying that's bracing. And maybe I was a morbid kid, I don't know, but I thought about that. Death was really, it just didn't make sense to me. Like, no way, man. Like, that's it? You're just going to die? That's everything? So that was part of it for me. I was fortunate I had good health, generally. And aging, I saw aging relatives. We would visit nursing homes, and I was really aware of that dimension. I had a great aunt who was really miserable and terrified, and it wasn't controllable. Whatever that control mechanism was that we're calling ego, it springs a leak. Or it's like a mechanism where literally it's like a clock that's running. Imagine a finely tuned Swiss watch that isn't maintained and it's kind of abused, and eventually just the springs break. And yet there's this life force pouring through the mechanism. And it's really sad to see. It is really suffering. She used to beg my mother to take her home, and she didn't have a home. I mean, that was her home. She was miserable. You could see it written on her face. Bless her. It's not a judgment, it's a description. We are all headed there. I mean, there are varying degrees of that. It's not flattering at all. Mortality is not. I used to listen to some heavy metal music because apparently heavy metal musicians are obsessed with death and gore and mutilation and who knows what else, rage. And it helped me to see it. Like, what is this corpse we're lugging around and freaking why? It struck me. I'm just saying, let it strike you. You don't have to. I'm just saying, to me, it drove the search. I've seen some YouTubers say that seeking is a problem. It's not if you're earnest about it, like you actually want solutions. If you identify with being someone who's just trying the latest thing, yeah, that's a problem. It's kind of like shopping is a problem. It can be. It's fine if it serves a greater purpose. Like, I bought the equipment to record this video. It's being put to use. It's not piled up somewhere with the price tag still on it. Eventually it will break, it'll wear out, and I'll recycle it or I'll donate it or something. Let someone repair it. The kind of shopping that I've seen on that show, Hoarders, is shopping for its own sake. It's the dopamine hit from getting something new. And as soon as that wears off, it's thrown in the pile, and then another thing is purchased. So yeah, if someone is a quote-unquote spiritual seeker, I use the term spiritual pretty strictly, so I don't even consider that to be very spiritual to begin with. But like trying this approach or this, go see this guru or do this practice or whatever, but it's not really engaged. It's not really put to use. It's not serious. Yeah, that's an issue. That identification with a certain activity that's more like consumption and doesn't really go anywhere. It creates more heat than light. And just like this friction, pleasant friction of existence, but it doesn't really produce any light, any value, much. So yeah, that's a thing. But Jesus talked about that, seek and you shall find, because it's Jesus saying it. He's speaking to people. He's standing there. If you meet Jesus and he says, seek and you shall find, I'm going to listen to that. I mean, it's Jesus. What are you going to do? But seriously, the idea that seeking by itself is problematic and an obstacle is not true. Even Ramana Maharshi said, ask the question, who am I? Until you find out who you are. When you do, you'll realize that whoever you assumed yourself to be is false. It'll dissolve, it'll disappear, and you'll wake up as the self, as he put it, Atman, one with the divine. And that was his teaching. That's the main one. Actually, silence was his main teaching. He would sit with people in silence. Because the reality of it is intensified by presence. Just presence. No words are needed. Not everyone will receive that. Not everyone can be with that. So for the ones who couldn't receive it or couldn't be with it and who plied him with questions as to what to do to realize the self. So if you're looking for the real, be the real. It's like a clear space that shows you what's there. Thoughts going by, and you see them for what they are and they dissolve because you're not clinging to them. You're that space of awareness. So meditation practice is, in a sense, practicing being that. Meditation itself is being that. So you practice that until you realize that you are it. The realization is not a thought, it's not an idea. It's not even something that you point to, it's immediate. It's this obvious space that we are. I could say it's like a sky without clouds. It could be a sky with clouds. It's still a sky. It doesn't matter. The thoughts are like clouds going by. So we're taught that thoughts tell you what's real. They don't. It's pretty simple to think about it. When I say think about it, I mean carefully. Almost like you're using thought as a tool, like doing philosophy. It requires focus and a certain kind of effort, cognitive effort, but you can just look at it. And it's as if you ask yourself, do my thoughts actually describe what anything is? Maybe you're not sure, and you can do that work. We do the work, we clear the hoarded boxes of garbage that are blocking the way to our freedom. Just like a hoarded house would have a wall of boxes blocking the front door. You clear the way, clear the mind. Meditation practice, when it's effective, dissolves the mind. We find the exit. We open the door. We find freedom. It's infinite. We lived in this little hoarded house that we're calling self. And all of a sudden we realize we're all of it. We're everything. After you wake up, the path to the front door is clear, and you can come and go as you please. So we call that freedom. And that spacious freedom is just as free and spacious within the house as outside, because they're connected. They're one space. And in a sense, you become a doorway for others to find that. Because you found the way. You found your way, at least. You found a way. Maybe it's like finding a path up a mountain. Yours is unique. And so when you teach, you talk about the things that you did. It only makes sense to do that. I try to talk about what I've experienced because it's more authentic that way. Once you're free, you kind of just want to be that. It's as if all that's cleared away and you realize yourself is infinite space. The Buddhists call it shunyata, which translates as emptiness. It's a full spaciousness. See, and it sounds like just another hoarded space when I say that. It's impossible to describe it because anything I say is going to be a thought, and it's like you're just pouring garbage into it. And it doesn't care. I mean, just like clouds don't harm the sky, words don't harm that. After you wake up, the pathway is clear to the front door. There may be some boxes that were moved to the side or stored here or there. It's a functional house. There may still be some of that. It's like ballast. It's like when they use sandbags to weigh down a balloon to keep it at a certain level. Without that, it'll just keep going up. So some of that may serve as a kind of psychological weight to balance the person out. I'm talking about after awakening. And as circumstances change, needs change, we may unpack some of that stuff. And it's an ongoing process. It's like a remodeling project that's constantly going on. I learned in school a long time ago that the body's constantly recycling itself. Even bones that seem solid are constantly being built up and broken down. It's like a river. So your skeleton is like a river of calcium and other minerals. So that sense of solidity, in a way, is an illusion. Everything is like that. Everything in life is like that, where it's a flow. It's a building up and a breaking down that's going on at the same time. The mind is like that too. Part of being awake is just embracing that. In Taoism, it's just called the way. The word Tao means way. Part of that is just, the way might be embracing a certain way to realize what that is. And then once we realize what that is, we embody it and live that way. And it's delightful. I've spoken about that. And we use the things. We aren't a thing. So if you're looking for reality, you are that. And the practice is to let go Let go of the known, let go of the mind, all of that. It sounds like, oh no, I'm going to go crazy. No. It's done methodically. It's done on purpose. So just like the hoarded house, you clear a path to the exit, but you don't burn the house down or blow it up. That's not advisable at all. I mean, the house in a way is the person. It's the body, mind, emotions. It's a vessel or it's a vehicle. So we live. We embrace change. We embrace growth. Our body's constantly building up and breaking down, so we embrace both. Then again, it's like a river. It's constant change. And clinging to it doesn't make sense. Eventually, it's worm food, as they say. It's just constantly being broken down and built up. It's constantly dissolving. It's not what it seems to be. It's not as solid as it seems to be. The mind can't see anything. It's in the way. It would be like you're a scientist trying to examine a specimen in a microscope and there's dirt on the lens. And you're looking and you think that you're looking at something, but the thing that's in the way is making it appear as if what you're looking at is the thing that's in the way. So it's not clear at all. It distorts. It impedes. And we're getting bad data. You can imagine a scientist looking through a dirty microscope. Yeah, that's not going to work too well. So whatever discoveries are made are going to be tainted. So we try to be as clear as we can in that. And the awakened consciousness is impossible to describe, and yet it is kind of like a clear lens or aperture through which we see. And it is the seeing. So the person, in a way, is an aperture through which consciousness operates. And so it has to be maintained. So you have to stay alive, keep the heart beating, stay healthy. We're looking for reality. You know, I really want to convey this, and it's challenging. I'll admit it. You are it. It would be like, I want a microscope that shows me exactly what's there. It's pristine. It doesn't distort or add anything, nor does it take anything away. It merely reveals. That's similar to what it's like. It's just that when we look through that particular lens, it's like pure sunlight, pure awareness, and it dissolves whatever is in front of it. Only because the world has an appearance of solidity that's not real, and it reveals that. See, it's revealing the emptiness of objects, of selves. It keeps arising, you see. Just like the body's constantly building up and then breaking down. Very natural. The mind is doing that. And when we witness it accurately, I've said it's like writing on water. It's like skywriting, where it's constantly passing, constantly dissolving, revealing that sky, that spacious awareness. The kingdom of heaven is just spacious awareness. It's the freedom of spacious awareness. So when it reveals what's there, it's revealing itself to itself. The thoughts dissolve, and it's beautiful. And we are that. I find that functionally, practically, it uses thoughts. It's just the thoughts come and go. It's like picking up a tool, using it, and putting it away. Like in a functional household that's not hoarded, it's organized, everything's in its place, you know where everything is. And if you need it, you get it, you use it, and then you put it back in the drawer or in the cupboard or wherever. And then it's kind of empty. You could be a minimalist, I guess, and really get that sense where a functional household that's, say it's a minimalist household, would just be kind of like space, very quiet. I don't think that's necessary to go to that extreme, because the spacious awareness that we are reveals that Zen-like serenity everywhere, because it is everywhere. It is the very essence of all that is. So whatever it sees, it doesn't judge it, and it dissolves it and turns it into that peacefulness. And that is really beautiful. We practice it. Clean your lens. If you have a dirty lens, you're not going to get it. The mind clutters that space of awareness when it's, in a sense, hoarded. Just like a hoarded house, you can't find anything. Everything's there, everything you might need, but it's just a big pile of garbage. And here and there is something useful, and you can't find it. Or maybe occasionally you'll find it. After you wake up, whatever gets unpacked in the sense of these boxes that you might, again, it's like a remodeling project because of change. I find that it's spontaneous, as needed. Kind of like your body does what's needed. That it naturally appears. It's a beautiful unfoldment of life that's like riding on water or skywriting. If you can clean your lens or unpack your boxes, unhoard your house. It's sad. I know I use these conditions. We don't want to look at these severe forms of mental illness, or some people are disabled. It's sad. And I'm not here to judge anyone. It's just we have to look at how we live and how it's unhealthy. It's not nice. Awareness isn't nice. It just shows you what's there. Imagine being a scientist and you just really want to see your specimen, whatever it is, an insect or some rare flora or something. You want to see it, but your lens is dirty. You just clean the lens and you look, and then it shows you what's there. Is it beautiful? Is it ugly? Is it large or is it small? What color is it? I don't know. Look. We're the looking. What is it? It's just the pure awareness that we are, when it's unobstructed, when it's liberated, sees itself. And it's formless. The thoughts dissolve. It dissolves the mind. In a similar way that you'd unhoard a house, but then it keeps what's useful and it puts it in drawers. All I can do is describe what it's like. It points. You have to look. It's like in Zen, the finger pointing at the moon. People are like looking at it like, what? What is it? Just, oh, you look. There it is. What is it? There it is. It's functional because it allows what's useful and lets go of everything else. And what's useful is it passes. It embraces impermanence. Why? Because that's the nature of life, is impermanence. That letting go is beautiful. It's like the breaking of an ice floe or something. It starts to melt and flow. It breaks and then it moves. Like the mind, all that old encrusted dogma, beliefs, it was in the way. The author Proust said that the real act of discovery consists not in finding new lands, but in seeing with new eyes. We are that seeing. Since I woke up, it's been over 20 years now, I've grown and changed. The body has grown and changed. Mind, body, emotions, all of that grown and changed. Adapted, responding. Some things gone, some things embraced. It's just a constant flow. That's one of the hard parts about that show, Hoarders, is you can't just get rid of everything, because then you won't have anything. You need food, you need shelter, things like that. So you have to get rid of the garbage and keep what's useful, and you probably don't need that much. You don't have to be a minimalist, but you can have an organized household. Declutter. Maybe you have to go in the cellar. There's something down there. I always found that horror movies like Evil Dead, where there are these undead relatives that are pounding against the trap door, they've locked it, and they're just banging at it and screaming and trying to get you. It's kind of like that. What can I let go of that's not needed? So finding reality is much more like having a spacious house. There's less there, and yet there's definitely more there. Sometimes less is more.